We've seen in the past few years that traditional brick construction, especially in seismically active rural areas, is a problem. Many people are dying in some of these earthquakes, and a lot of it has been attributed to the fact that the older brick-style buildings just can't withstand the shaking that goes on. Third, they found that in China, brick production is becoming environmentally friendly. Basically, they strip away the arable land, get at the clay underneath. They take the clay, take the straw to fire the bricks, and create the bricks. So, and somewhere in that case, there's a lot of CO2 being produced by burning of the straw. And they're also losing a lot of their arable land to make more straw just to get at the brick material. And finally, China grows a lot of wheat, a lot of wheat straw. World's largest producer of wheat straw. They have an abundance of that material readily available and can be incorporated into the panel product. But the challenge is, how do we get people who've been building a certain way for 5,000 years to accept the way we build things here? I'm sure if someone to China came and told you, hey, why don't you build your house this way? You can look at it and say, well, you know, maybe that's not such a good idea. Why don't you prove it to me first? So they need to expose the people to the technology, and that's exactly what's going on right now. This is the Mianzhu project. It's in southwestern China. It's in one of the areas that was devastated by the earthquake back in 2008. This is a typical duplex home. It's very consistent with the architecture. If you look at it from the outside, it's exactly the same as any other house in the area. But if you look at it underneath, it's very different. All the OSSB is used in the roof, sheathing, floors, walls. Unfortunately, they don't have any timber. Because they don't have any timber, they had to come up with a system to create the stick-built construction. So they're using, right now they're using steel studs. Very simple technology. This little machine here is the stud making machine. It plugs into a 110 volt outlet. You have a little laptop with your program, the plan of the house, and they just take rolls of sheet metal and they just roll it out, and I think it was in 7 days they can produce 4 of these houses worth of out of material out of one of these little machines. So it's very portable, very easy for them to utilize in their area. They don't require skilled labor. They just make up the beams, put everything together, and then they create the house you see. The life cycle analysis was done by Delft University, looking at the comparison of the two types of construction. And the Chinese are really impressed with the numbers. Total improvement in embodied energy, 33% decrease. 75% improvement in gray energy. CO2 footprint is decreased by 67%. Heating, cooling, they're all in its favor. So from that point of view, the technology does look promising. One of the more interesting things is the Chinese really like the patterns and the color of the OSSB. If you ever see a panel of it, it's gold in color because of the wheat straw, and it makes a very unique pattern. And they like it as an interior decoration. So there's also an opportunity to go into maybe the urban centers where people decorate their homes themselves and use this particular product as an interior decoration as well as a structural panel. So there's other possibilities for opportunities as well. This is an interesting sort of development with the Vanke company. Vanke is the largest private developer of real estate in Shanghai. So they're pretty big. They've developed, at the Shanghai World's Fair, Vanke has put up a pavilion that basically features OSSB, both externally, on the external of the building, as well as internally. If you look, what they've done is taken the OSSB, cut it into small strips. They've treated it with a variety of chemicals to make it both impervious to, well, not impervious, but resistant to ultraviolet light, and as well as fungal mold, those sorts of things from the rain, and created a very interesting effect on the buildings. On the inside, you can't really see it very well, but all the walls all the doors, all the furniture except the chairs, all manufactured from OSSB. And right now it's one of the hits at the World's Fair. So they're being exposed to the technology, they're being exposed to the possibilities, and people are learning that, hey, there's something here that is of merit, and hopefully we'll see this technology catch on there and perhaps here in the future. So that pretty much concludes my presentation. I'd like to thank ACAMP for inviting me, and as well the photos and information from Paddleboard Holdings from the Netherlands, and as well as AITF. Thank you.